Okay. Welcome to Gentle Flow to Nidra. My name is Jess. This class is brought to you by Elevate Yoga in Denver, Colorado. I had a little blank spot there. I was like, Elevate what? What do we do there again? Let's start tonight in child's pose. Get a little action in our hips, get a little action in our ankles and our knees. We just sort of hit all the bottom joints here with this one. Wide-legged if you can, big toes to touch, knees come wide, hips come back towards the heels, reaching the forehead towards the earth, reaching the arms out in front. Now, I'd rather you have your hips further back, and then if that means your forehead's floating, grab a pillow or a couple blankets or ball up a shirt so that you can rest your head on that versus having your hips high and your head down. I'd rather have your hips down. Try to get a release in that low back. Take a nice big inhale. And an exhale. Just start to land on your mat mentally. We're often in a million different places mentally. Let's see if we can be right here within the confines of our mat, in our body. Inhale as you expand through the belly. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, seal the lips. Exhale through the nose. Take 3 more grounding breaths. Imagine you're inhaling and bringing energy up through the earth. And then exhale, release it all back to the earth. After your third breath, we'll roll up onto all fours, finding our way into a tabletop pose, spreading the fingers away from one another. Palms are wide, hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We'll roll right into cat-cow as you inhale, drop the belly, press the heart open, shoulder blades squeeze together. Belly is long. Exhale, push the earth away, round the spine, drop the head. Inhale, find your cow. Opening the front body, and exhale, find your cat, opening the back body. Twice more, just like that. Inhale, drop the belly, flare the hips. Press the shoulder blades together. Exhale, press the earth away, the back of the heart domes up. Pelvis tucks, good. Good, and you can keep flowing just like this in your cat-cow, back and forth. Or if you want, you can start to sway the hips a little bit. Feeling some opening happening along the side bodies. Maybe you're still arching up and down, but there's a little bit of a sway as you go. Good. From here, we'll all meet back in a neutral spine. We're going to start to lean forward, tip over to the right, and then send the hips back to the right, back to the left. Come forward, right? Dipping the hips. So we're making these big hip circles. Good. Do 2 more circles in this direction. And then we're going to do circles in the other direction. So the hips will go to the right. They'll come forward, dip to the left, go back to the right, forward. Good. You should feel some action happening in your wrists as well as you come forward and around. Do one more circle on this side. Good, we'll all meet back in a neutral table. Start to press your left hand down into the earth and reach your right hand high. And as you exhale, bring that right hand behind the left, temple and shoulder, right temple, right shoulder, come down to the earth. Good. Let the bum stay high, lifted over the knees. You're just allowing the pressure of gravity to release your right shoulder into the earth. Take a big inhale here. And a nice full exhale. Slide that left hand in front of the face if it's not there already. And with an inhale, press into the left hand. Right arm comes up. Good. Exhale, right hand comes down. We'll press into the right hand and we'll inhale the left arm up. Good. Exhale, bring that left arm, thread the needle through. So that left hand comes behind right wrist, left shoulder, left temple come down. Bum stays high and just let gravity press your left shoulder into the mat. Take a big breath into your belly. Feel your belly expand towards your thighs. And exhale as the belly comes back towards the spine. Bring that right hand in front of the face, press into the right palm and unwind. Exhale, plant that left hand down. Good. Now from here, we're going to kickstand our right foot to the right. So you can take a look here. We're just going to tip that right foot over. Good. And then we're going to extend that left leg long. Good. Now take a look back. You're going to, your toes are looking the same direction that your face is looking. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. Make sure that back foot's not in front of your right knee, but in line with it. Good. So your one long line of energy, then lift up through your left hand. Press the hips forward. Press the earth away with the right hand. Inhale here, and as you exhale, let that left palm face the earth and arch over. Good. So you're lifting up through the left hip and you're pressing the hips forward. Good. Inhale, bring that left hand back up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, side bend. Good. Inhale, back up. Pull your belly button towards your spine. See if you can lift that back leg. Good. Really press through that left heel so you're engaged through the left leg like you're going to stand on the wall behind you. Good. Press through that right hand, really reaching with all of the limbs. Good. And then as you exhale, let that left foot, left hand come down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll start by kickstanding that left foot. So it'll just go out to the left. You'll roll on to left knee, left hand. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. Make sure that back foot's in line with that knee. It's not way out in front, way behind. It's in line. Good. Right arm reaches up. Take a nice big inhale as you start to press the hips forward, opening up through the heart. And then as you exhale, palm faces the earth, side bend over. Inhale up. And as you exhale over, reach through those right fingertips, like somebody's pulling your right arm. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend. Keep pressing the hips forward. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale over. Inhale, come up. Start to pull your belly button towards your spine and then lift up through that right leg. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Hold through your exhale. Reach through all limbs. Inhale. And with your next exhale, we'll bring everything back down, back into table. Good. From here, we're going to start to make our way towards downward dog. So go ahead and curl your toes under in your tabletop. Start to lift your hips. Press the earth away. Now take a look at your hands. Really spread the fingers nice and wide. Start to press into that J shape in the between the thumb and the first finger. Press into all of the knuckles. Shoulder blades are rolling away from one another. Hips go high. Let the head look back between the legs. Bend in the knees and press the heart towards the thighs. Good. Come up onto the tiptoes and try to get some height through the sits bones. Good. And then try to keep all of this length and this height as you just let the heels melt. Good. Bend your right knee. Let your left leg go a little straighter and really press through your palms. Bend in your left knee. Let that right heel reach towards the earth and press through the palms. Good. Inhale as you look forward. And exhale, let your hands walk back towards your feet, finding a forward fold. Try to let your belly meet your thighs if it can. That may mean that you take a really big, generous bend in the knees. Maybe your feet go a little bit wider, creating some space for your torso. And then you're not looking down at the ground, you're looking back between the legs. So your head is completely released, right? So crown of the head is looking at the earth, but your eyeballs are looking through the legs. Let the head hang heavy. If it's available, see if you can grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, finding a ragdoll pose. Maybe sway a little bit side to side. Good. Release the hands. We're going to walk the hands back out. Find a plank pose. So we'll come all the way long. Heels reach back, belly pulls in, crown of the head reaches forward. Press the earth away with the palms. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, make your way down to your belly. You can drop your knees. Let the elbows graze the rib cage as you slowly lower all the way down. Let the tops of the feet find the earth. Press all 10 toenails down. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Start to squeeze the shoulder blades together and away from the ears. Now start to press into the feet like you're pressing down and away, like somebody's pulling your toes behind you. And then inhale, lift the back of the heart. Imagine someone's pulling a string off the top of your head as well. Good, so we're reaching in both directions as we lift up. Good, exhale, release. One more time, just like that, press into the feet. Inhale, find your baby cobra. Maybe lift the hands up. Good, exhale, release. We'll all curl our toes under, press up through table or plank, and we'll all meet back in down dog. So the hips go high again. Don't forget what's happening with your hands. They're the other part of your base, so really spread the fingers wide. Take a breath in your down dog. And with your next exhale, we're going to look forward, walk our feet towards our hands, forward fold. Go ahead and bring your left hand in front of the face. So your left hand's going to come a little bit towards center and plant. Maybe you come up onto the fingertips if the earth is feeling really far away. Bend in your left knee, and then inhale, reach your right arm up. Maybe that right leg can straighten. You should feel some sensation happening along the outer side of the right leg. Reaching up. Exhale, let the right hand come down, and as it comes down, start to bend in the right knee. Plant the right hand. Inhale, left arm comes up. Maybe that left leg can straighten. Good. Exhale, release. Inhale, we'll find a halfway lift. So slide the hands up to the shins or the thighs. Press into the earth with the feet. Shoulder blades squeeze together like you're trying to Superman your heart towards the earth. Good. Pull the belly in towards the spine. Engage. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands next to the feet. Step your right foot back into a lunge. Now adjust so that your right foot's really back there. And then check in with your knee. You want your knee to be over your left ankle, not past it, not way behind it, over it. Good. Try to stay lifted on that back knee for just a moment and really press. Feel the opening between the legs. And then exhale, drop down to the back knee. Good. Now you can stay right here if this feels like a lot of sensation. Or with an inhale, bring the arms up and over your head. Press into the left heel. So you might step out of your lunge just a little bit as you squeeze the inner thighs towards one another, engaging through the hips. Good. Exhale, bring both hands down. Let your right hand plant and inhale the left arm up. Good. Exhale, let the left hand come down onto the inside of the left foot. So now both hands are inside the left leg. Curl your back toes under. Lift up through your back knee. We're going to start to walk through center. So you're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. Both sets of toes are now facing forward. Come up onto the fingertips. Start to press into the outer edges of the foot. There's a tendency to almost kind of want to come knock-kneed here. Press into the outer edges of the feet. Good. And now check in with your sacrum and notice if it's tucking under. Go ahead and start to press that away as well. So you're trying to flare the hip. Good. Take a big inhale here with this flat back. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come forward. Belly button first. Good. Keep pressing into the outer edges of the feet. You'll find where your edge is. Maybe you can come all the way down onto the head. Good. Lean forward, bringing the weight into your toes. Good. Inhale, come back to that flat back. And now we're going to bend in our right knee, straighten in the left leg. Good. Those left toes can pop up. They can point, or they can stay grounded. We're going to come up through center. Same thing on the other side, Skandasana. So bending to the left knee. And then those toes, right toes can pop up, or they can stay grounded. A little bit of a different sensation. Maybe you play with it. Let's do it one more time on each side. So inhale, come up. Good. Bending in the right knee. Inhale, come up. Bending in the left knee. Good. Now we're going to inhale, come up. We're going to walk around to the back of our mat. Find your lunge on the opposite leg. So come up onto your fingertips. Hands are on either side of the right foot. Press back through the left heel. Keep that left knee lifted. Good. Right knee over right ankle, really getting some distance here. And then exhale, drop down to the back knee. This might be like a lot of sensation already, and if it is, hang out right here. You can bring the hands underneath the shoulders to get a little more height, or with an inhale, reach the arms up. Good. Press through your front heel. Find your breath. With your next exhale, bring the hands down to frame the foot. Left hand plants, and with an inhale, the right arm lifts up. Twisting towards your bent knee. Take a couple of breaths right here. And as you exhale, bring that right hand on the inside of that left foot. Good. We'll take a breath here and lizard pose. We don't need to come all the way down. Go ahead and start to curl the back toes under. Lift up on the back knee. Walk yourself through center again. So the toes will point forward. Press into the outer edges of the feet. And let yourself forward fold. Wide leg fold. If your feet feel too wide apart, you can always heel toe them together, making the distance a little bit shorter. Now with an inhale, let's all come up onto the fingertips. Try to get a nice flat back. With an inhale, plant the left hand in front of the face and then right arm comes up, twisting towards the right. Good. Now notice if your left hip took a big dip. See if you can pull the left hip back up. Good. Exhale, opposite side. So right hand comes down in front of the face. Left hand pops up. Now, did that right hip dip down? If so, see if you can pull it back up. So that twist is really coming from more your natural waist, the bottom of the rib cage, versus the hips, which is where the twist wants to come from, especially if we're tight in the back. Take a big inhale and exhale. Let that left hand come down. We're going to walk our way towards the front of the mat again. So you'll find yourself in the original lunge, and then let's step the left foot back, plank pose. Exhale down to the knees, and then we're all just going to press back into a child's pose. You can either keep knees together, or you can go knees wide. Hips come towards heels, either way. Forehead melts, arms reach forward. It can also feel good to let your arms come back behind you. Palms will face up, shoulders will round towards the earth. Good. With your next inhale, we're all just going to roll up into a seat. Bring the feet long out in front. Then bend the knees and plant the feet. We're going to come into a quick boat pose. So you can bring the hands behind the thighs. Start to roll the shoulder blades back and down. So you're lifting up through the heart, and then let that pelvis tilt forward. So find a little lift through that tilt of the pelvis, right? Sit up nice and tall, and then start to trying to keep that lift and that length through the torso, tip back, and maybe lift up the shins. Pull the belly towards the spine. Good. Take a nice big breath here. Good, and as we exhale, release the hands, and we're just going to see how slowly we can come all the way down. Really pull the belly button back. Releasing all the way to the earth. Bring the soles of the feet together. Find a reclined butterfly, reclined Baddha Konasana. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Take an inhale that comes all the way into the belly, so feel that hand rise up as you inhale. And feel it fall as you slowly exhale. Good. Bring the knees back together. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. And then let both knees fall to the right. And inhale, come back through center and let both knees fall to the left. Inhale, come back through center. Move with your breath, exhaling down to one side. Inhaling back through center. And exhaling down. Play with this back and forth. Notice if you feel a little massage along the glutes, the IT band. Do one more round on each side. And come back through center. Bring the knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side. Massaging the low back. And then start to reach the legs long, making your way towards your shavasana. So now we will move into the Yoga Nidra portion of class. So you'll be laying in shavasana for 25 to 30 minutes. So grab a pillow. If you feel like you need one for the back of your head, grab a blanket or a sweater because your body temperature will start to cool down. Just make yourself nice and comfy. It really is good for you to lay just flat on your back. So, I mean, if you want to gussy it up a lot, feel free, but, you know, just a pillow under the knees if the low back is feeling crunchy, and a blanket over the body is really a good place to be. I'll give you a few moments to get situated, get satisfied, and we'll walk you through Yoga Nidra. Now, as you get ready for Yoga Nidra, again, make sure you're lying in Shavasana. Your feet will be slightly apart. You can just let them flop sideways. Arms are slightly away from the body with the palms of your hands upwards. Adjust your blankets, your clothes, and your position so that you can practice Yoga Nidra comfortably and with no movement. If you haven't already, go ahead and close your eyes and keep them closed. The practice of Yoga Nidra is the act of hearing and the act of feeling. And these are the only important factors. In Yoga Nidra, you are the creator of your own dreams. Say to yourself mentally, I will not sleep. I will only listen to the voice. Repeat to yourself, I will not sleep. Give yourself some time to become calm and steady. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe in, feel calmness spreading throughout the body. And as you breathe out, say to yourself mentally, relax. Begin to become aware of any sounds in the distance. Try to become aware of the most distant sounds that you can hear. Let your hearing operate like a radar beam, searching out distant sounds and following them for a few seconds. Move your attention from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source. Gradually bring your attention to closer sounds. Maybe sounds inside your room. Maybe sounds inside your body. Now, without opening your eyes, visualize the four walls, the ceiling, and the floor of your room. Visualize your surroundings and visualize your body. See your body lying on the floor. Become aware of your physical existence, lying on the floor in perfect stillness. Your body is lying on the floor. Now develop an awareness of all the physical meeting points between your body and the floor. Become aware of your natural breath. Become aware of your deep, natural, spontaneous breath. Try not to concentrate too hard, for this can interfere with your natural process. Just keep listening to me and know that you are breathing. And we'll now begin our rotation of consciousness through the different centers of the body. As quickly as possible, the awareness is to jump from point to point. Repeat mentally the name of each part after me, and simultaneously become aware of that part. The right hand thumb, the second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the armpit, the right waist, hip, the right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the armpit, the left waist, hip, left thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the left foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. The right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, the right glute, the left glute, the spine, the whole back together, the top of the head, the forehead, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the eyebrow center, the right eyelid, the left eyelid, the right eye, the left eye, the right ear, the left ear, the right cheek, the left cheek, the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, the right nostril, the left nostril, the upper lip, the lower lip, the teeth, the tongue, the jaw, the throat, the right collarbone, the left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, the navel, the abdomen, the lower abdomen, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole back, the whole front, the whole head together, legs, arms, back, front, head together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Develop a homogeneous awareness of the whole body and become aware of the space occupied by the body. Become aware of the body and this space that is occupied by your body, body and space. Become aware of the whole body and the floor, the whole body in relation to the floor. And at the same time, become aware of the meeting points of the body and the floor. These are very subtle physical points between the body and the floor. Feel the meeting points between the back of your head and the floor, shoulder blades and the floor, the elbows and the floor, the back of the hands and the floor, the glutes and the floor, the calves and the floor, the heels and the floor. Have an awareness of all the meeting points between the body and the floor, the sensation of all these points simultaneously and evenly. Feel these points clearly and distinctly, but do not sleep. Now move your attention to your eyelids. Feel the narrow line of the meeting between the upper and lower eyelids. Intensify your awareness between the eyelids. Now move to the lips. Center your attention on the line between the lips, the space between the lips. From the lips, we move to the breath. Draw your attention to the natural ingoing and outgoing breath. Feel the breath moving along the passage between the navel and the throat. On inhalation, it rises from the navel to the throat. On exhalation, it descends from the throat to the navel. Be completely aware of this respiration, navel to throat, throat to navel. But try not to force the breath. Just have an awareness. Maintain your awareness, and at the same time, begin to count your breaths backwards from 54. I am breathing in, 54. I am breathing out, 54. I am breathing in, 53. I am breathing out, 53, and so on. Count to yourself mentally as you follow the rise and fall of your breath. The breathing is slow and relaxed. Please keep counting. Leave your counting and awaken the feeling of heaviness in the body. Find a feeling of heaviness. Become aware of feeling heavy in every single part of the body. You are feeling so heavy that you begin to sink into the floor. Concentrate on this feeling of heaviness. Now begin to awaken a feeling of lightness. Awaken a feeling of lightness in the body. Feel a sensation of lightness and weightlessness in all parts of the body. Your body feels so light that it seems to be floating away from the floor. Concentrate on this feeling of lightness and weightlessness. Begin to imagine that you are on the ceiling and you see below your body lying in shavasana on the floor, practicing yoga nidra. Now, see your body slowly stand up and tiptoe to the door. Quietly open it and go outside, closing the door softly behind you. See your body walking outside. See the familiar things around you. There is no sense of effort, only lightness. You see some people that you know. You see them, but they can't see you. Watch them as they walk past. Perhaps they are making their usual conversation. Close your eyes and find that your body is now floating over the sea. Become aware of this. See the dark blue sea glistening below. Across its surface, the ship is streaming. Your body floats like a cloud. Wherever the wind blows, your body is also blown. Wisps of a cloud brush past your face. Below you, sunlight reflects off banks of white cloud. Above you, puffs of cloud scurry across the blue sky. Feel your body be lifted by currents of air and carried over the land. On the ground below, you see farmhouses, carefully laid out fields, thick forests, winding rivers that reflect the sun. Pause for a moment and look closely at yourself. Your body is totally relaxed, and on your face is an expression of peace and calm. See your body immersed in color as it passes through a rainbow. Feel yourself washed and purified by the colors: yellow, green, blue, violet, red, orange, gold, and yellow. Feel the colors penetrating your whole body, nourishing and invigorating you on a deep level. Now slowly begin to make your return. See your body return to the outside of your room. See again the familiar objects. Quietly open the door, walk inside, and close it after you. You lie down on the floor and see your body slowly beginning to rest again in shavasana. Begin to bring your awareness to the dark space that you see in front of your closed eyes. Watch this darkness that you see before you very carefully, with detachment. Rest your mind in this warm and friendly darkness. If any subtle phenomena manifest, colors or patterns, simply take note of these, but continue on with your awareness. If thoughts occur, do not attach to them. Let them come and let them go, but continue watching this dark space. Begin to become aware of your breathing. Become aware of your natural breath. Feel a sense of deep relaxation within your physical existence. Begin to become aware of your arms, your legs, your whole body lying stretched out on the floor. Become aware of the meeting points between your body and the floor. Develop an awareness of the room that you're in, the walls, the ceiling, any noises, inside or outside. Begin to take your mind out and become completely external. Lie quietly for a few moments and keep your eyes closed. Begin to gently move your body and stretch yourself. Take your time and don't hurry. When you are sure that you're wide awake, roll over to one side. Gently press yourself up into a seat with closed eyes. Begin to rub the palms of the hands together, creating heat, friction. Once the palms feel warm, place them over your eyes. Gently open the eyes behind your palms, letting some light stream in. Take a big inhale and exhale, release the hands away from the face. Your Yoga Nidra practice is complete. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me.